계시는 분인데. 많이 덥죠?
Yes, I went to Mamamoo's concert 3 days in a row. How crazy is that? Good morning! Well, it's 10 a.m. right now, really time to get up. I know that some of the Momoos are there even from 7 a.m. just lining up for the merch. Not many people though, but we all really want that hoodie, so I hope it won't be sold out by the time I get there. So last time I went alone, but this time I'm going with my two best friends, Mubong and Minibong. Let's go! Whoa. Can hear them rehearsing. That's a cute pic. So I went quite far from the venue so I could just rest a little bit and eat. Got something at the convenience store because but apparently there are a lot of restaurants around here, but I didn't know because it's my first time in this venue. And actually this year the venue is like much smaller than last year. I mean, I'm not sure about the venue itself, but like the area around, you don't have many places that you can just sit around or even walk around. Like it's so tiny. So I just went far away on the street and found somewhere, I don't know, in the middle of nowhere, and I just sit here. And yeah, I came early for no reason apparently, because all the merch I wanted got sold out, which is the hoodie and the badge set. So tomorrow I'll have to come like really early in the morning and just hope that I'll be able to get one. So in the meanwhile, I'll show you some free stuff that I got. So the first thing I got is this angel line bookmark, and I always need bookmarks, so it's really useful for me. Then there is this Monbiol photo cards. And from Ever Bikini, there was an Ever Bikini booth. I got this bottle with, I don't know, some chocolate powder. And you get a random photo card, so I got Pioli. And there is Hwasa, kinda, not really poster, but like a sign. And I like it how on the behind it says "Be yourself." Oh, it's from China. I didn't see that. I went to Mamamoo's concert 3 days in a row. I'll explain why. First of all, I love Mamamoo. I saved money for that. I'm already here and like I'm in Korea a lot, but I'm not every day in Korea. And not every day is Mamamoo's concert. I think I mentioned like 10 more reasons. And also in the last concert, 4season SS, I went only on the first day, and then I heard that there were some different things on the second day, and I felt so sorry that I didn't go, and I missed that because I was already in Korea, I could go. So this time I was like, okay, I'm just gonna book for all 3 days and be there and experience each concert. And yeah, different things happened each time. So I wrote a few notes. I think first of all I will tell you what happened each day, and after that I will tell you like in general about the songs and everything. So about day one. So I didn't really eat well in that day, and we had like to line up many times. It was lining up to pick up the tickets and then pick up the wristband. Like if you're in the standing section, you get a wristband, and then lining up to get to the venue, and then just standing and waiting for the show to begin. So you kind of line up a lot and stand a lot. I think I haven't eaten for like 8 hours this day. Yeah, I should have eaten something before the concert, and it really affected how I felt in the concert because I was so exhausted. But when I tried to concentrate on the girls, it kind of faded away. But you know, when you're physically feeling bad, then it's hard to separate those things. I had a kind of good view. I'd say I was kind of in the front. I think actually the venue, comparing to the last time, it was slightly smaller. Standing section felt more crowded for some reason. I think they just sold the same amount of standing tickets for like a smaller area, which makes it really uncomfortable. It's really hard physically because like the concert is supposed to be 2.5 hours, and the girls like make every concert, yeah, I think each day was around 4.5 hours, and of course I have no complaints for that. The longer the better, because we get more time with our girls, but it's just really hard physically to stand for so long, and if you want to go to the toilet then you lose your position. Like you can't just go out and come back to the same position, so you have either to give up on your spot or just not go to the toilet, not to eat, barely drink, so you won't need to go to the toilet, and just be prepared to have a lot of back pains and leg pains, and so hot, like so many people in such a small area, it's so hot. Yeah, so physically it is hard, but I think it's worth it. I'm sure it's worth it because you get to see the girls so close. I can see their shiny makeup, like every tiny detail in their faces. On the first day, I had some pushy people around me. Like, I think it was the day that I had the most non-polite people around me, and especially one girl, she just kept pushing me so hard, and I was like, girl, what's going on with you? She didn't stop pushing me through the whole show. So at some point I was like, okay, I'm just gonna use her as a support for my back. If she's already pushing me, I'm just gonna lean back on her. At least I'll get something out of it. What else? Yeah, during 1 centimeter, then there is the part when Bill is supposed to say, Eyo, panorama dojagayo. So she forgot that part, and there was like silence, and then in the middle of it, she started like singing, rapping, and then everybody laughed, and she was like bending down and laughing, and she couldn't stop. So Pioli really caught my attention this concert. The first concert I saw her, she seemed like more, I don't know, introverted. She was like, she smiled less and she seemed less happy last time, but this time she was like so happy and smiling all the time and laughing and just fooling around and having fun, and she really enjoyed herself this time, and I was so glad to see it. She's so cute when she's happy. So I felt like this concert made me fall in love with them more, but especially with Pioli and Yongsun. It felt like this concert, they paid more attention to the crowd, like they walked around more than last concert. Just note, when I say last concert, I mean to the 4season SS that was in the summer. So they actually walked around more and they paid more attention to larger parts of the audience. So this time I didn't forget to take my banner. Yeah, this is the banner, and we had to raise it when they sang Star Wind Flower Sun. So when it finished, I just felt all my pain coming back to me. Like, because during the show I kind of could avoid concentrating on it constantly because I had like the show to concentrate on, but when it finished it was just me and my pain. So when I went outside, everybody waited to the girls to leave the venue. They were standing close to their cars, but I couldn't take it anymore. I went straight to the subway station and I was bending from back pain, and I was just looking for somewhere to sit, and I wanted to wait for my subway back home. When it arrived, it was so full of people and I had no seat. The only available seat was on the elderly section. Like there's this section for elderly people and pregnant women. So I was looking at the seat and the seat looked back at me, and I was like, I really want to, but no. So I just kept standing and feeling pain. Eventually there was an available seat, so I just took it, and I was uploading things to Twitter non-stop. I was just kept cropping videos and uploading them, and I was so concentrated on it that I actually missed my station. So at some point I was like, wait, where am I? And I had to go outside the train and take the opposite direction. Yeah, don't text and drive. That's the reason.
여기 이 부채는 중국어네요. 목소리 완전 크다.
Day 2, here we go. Well, I decided not to go early today for the merch, and because I was really exhausted and I needed the rest. And it's good that I decided not to go because I have a friend who went there at 7:30 a.m. and she said that people already lined up from yesterday night. Yeah, it's crazy, and the hoodie was sold out before she could even get to the booth. So I think I will just go tomorrow early because I'm also sitting tomorrow, so I can rest during the show. So day 2, I was sleeping well, I was eating well. It came later than the day before, so I had more time to rest and less time to spend outside. I was walking around with a friend from Twitter. It was actually nice that this time I wasn't completely by myself because I met some Momo friends from Twitter, and actually we had a meetup the day before. We went to eat dinner. And then during the concert days, we just met each other and walked around together. So it was nice. So this time, actually, my number in the queue was higher than the day before, because like the number you get is the order you get to the venue. So on the first day, my number was 113 and I was in the white section. And this time my number was 189 in the yellow section, and I was actually closer to the stage than the day before. I was like third row, which is super close. It just depends on your luck, because sometimes when people enter, they just go to the back because they want to lean on the fence. So many people went to the back or went to like other areas, so I had my position on the third row. It was so cool. I still had back pains and leg pains, but it was better than the day before because I had more rest and I ate more, and I had really good sights also to the main stage, which usually it's harder to see when you're standing. It's harder to see the main stage, so this time I actually saw it pretty good. And the people around me were really polite, except for one girl in the beginning. I mean, I won't call it unpolite, but she had such a strong voice. She screamed, but wow, I never heard a scream like that in my life. And she was right behind me, so every time she screamed, I felt something breaking in my ears, and I couldn't stand it anymore. So each time I tried to like kinda move away from her a little bit, because it's really hard to move when you're surrounded by thousands of people, well actually hundreds of people. So I just moved a little bit each time until I finally got away from her, and I still heard their screamings, but it just wasn't right into my ear, because I still want my ears. Somewhere in the beginning, Byul's belt just opened, and then Yongsun helped her to close it back. It was interesting. Okay, I think the most exciting thing that happened in this concert, at least most surprising thing I'd say, is that during Byul's solo stage, something got into her eye. I think it was hair or something else, and then she went down to the standing section, not to mine, to the other one, and she just went to a random girl and she helped her take it from her eye, and she was like actually touching her face, and wow, it was so random. Like, wow, if I was this girl, I would freak out. And it's funny because right before the concert began, I spoke to a friend and I told her how I feel like Byul is the most distant one. Like, I feel like she maybe avoids a little bit touching connection with the people, like with the fans. But actually after this thing, I don't know what to think anymore. And you know what? I'm starting to have a conspiracy theory that she did that on purpose. Like, she didn't really have something in her eye and she just wanted to make us go crazy. I don't know if I'm right, but it's really funny if it's true. During Hyejin's solo, there was a part when she went upstairs, and then when she went down, there was this kind of paper thing. I mean, during the concert there were like papers coming from the ceiling, so a paper thing just got caught in her shoe, and she was like, whoops. It was so funny. And when she sang Tweet, someone near me was like about to faint. I saw her like starting to fall down, and then the people called the security. There was like Yogyo, and it took actually a while until they came and took her out. And I heard that many people fainted or had to go out during the three of the concerts, because I think that this time it was I don't know, it felt like more crowded. Like in the standing section, as I said, it felt like there were more people that could be there, or just everybody really wanted to be in the front, so it was so like you had no personal space, and it's really hard to be surrounded like that for such a long time. This time Mamamoo prepared an event for us. They made us a sign, each concert the fans like raise a banner for them, and this time they raised banners for us. I am 100% sure that Hwasa looked at me. 2 times actually. The first time was somewhere near the end of the show when she walked next to my area. I saw her looking like directly in the eyes. And the second time, it was when they sang Star, Wind, Flower, Sun. Then I somehow know the lyrics to this song, so I was like singing the lyrics, and I saw her like looking at me and smiling. I mean, I'm kind of sure she looked at me, but you can never know because there are so many people, so she could actually look at the one behind me, but let me just believe that it wasn't me. I'm also almost sure that Wee looked at me. Let me know what you think from the video. And again, I had no back, no legs, went directly to the metro station, back home, uploading to Twitter, but this time paying attention to the right station. Okay, day 3, last day of the concert. I woke up at 6 a.m. to get the merch, but a friend of mine was already there. She texted me that a lot of people were lining up already. So she was like number 42 in the row, and she couldn't even get the hoodie or the badge set because they were sold out. So I had 0 chances, so I didn't go eventually. But anyway, it's okay, it's just a hoodie and just a badge set. The most important thing is that I get to see the concert. And today I'm not standing, I'm sitting, so I'll have like an overview of the concert. Alright, see you there. Day 3. Yeah, I was sitting this time. It was so different. I mean, I do like it more when I'm close to them, but it was such a relief after standing for 2 days straight. And it was actually kind of cool to have an overview of the venue, because when you're standing, you don't always have a good sight. You have like a limited view when they go to other parts of the stage. So when you're sitting, you can see everything, so that's cool. The friend I told you that stood in the line since 6 a.m, she got for me a Mubon case, so I will not have to stand in line to buy the merch because she bought it for me. So yeah, this is the case. It says Mamamoo, also here, and also here it says Mamamoo. Do you see anything? I hope you see something. And from the inside, ta-da! Finally, my precious Mubong could rest a little bit, because when I carry it in my suitcase or just in my bag, I'm kind of afraid that it will scratch. It's already scratched a little, so that's a perfect solution for that. Smells new. During Yongsun's solo stage, there is this part when she sings hello, and at the end the music turns off and she just sings with purely her voice. And I don't know, I just felt it, like on the 3rd day especially, I felt it inside my heart, like her voice really got to me. Yeah, somewhere around, I think maybe 1 centimeter or waggy, my mubong turned off. Actually, I didn't think of it that my batteries might end if I go to the concert 3 days in a row, so I didn't bring any extra batteries, so I was a little disappointed that it was turned off. But then there was a K-Momo sitting right next to me, and she saw that my batteries ran off, and she just gave me new batteries, and it was so nice of her. I was so happy, really. I tell you, Momos are the most supportive and nice fandom ever. I think most of the fandom. So the beginning of 1cm was so messy. It looked like they all forgot their lines, and then they were like trying to cover up for each other, and they were just laughing. It was such a mess. And Biol was so touching in this song. She just touched Biol's back and went down to her butt. And then Young had such a blank facial expression. She was like, was funny to watch. And then she got close to Hyejin and just grabbed her face and went really close to her. Yeah, she did the Hyejin thing to Hyejin. So in the last day we had this fan event banner. Each section got a banner with their color. So like the red section got a banner with a red color, and it said something about Moonbiol, and blue for solar, and each color. And the sitting section got also a white banner, but it says I'm not quite sure what it says, but something more general, like not specifically about one member. And right before we raised the banners, they played a movie, the movie that the fan filmed on the first day on the concert, when they walked around and they just interviewed some mumus, and they asked them what they think about Mamamoo, or like to tell some nice things to Mamamoo. So they played this video, and right after it ended, we raised this banner, and they were really excited about it, and they were so happy. After that, Biol started to cry. She wiped her tears with a towel, and she tried to talk, and she couldn't. She just started crying. And after that, she kept talking and her voice was shaky. I almost cried too. It was really emotional. And then Ween started to like dance and like trying to get away the attention from her, so people will not focus on Biol crying. So she just began to dance and make random sounds, and then the other girls joined her. So before the next song, Biol went to backstage to, I don't know, like prepare and relax a little bit. So the girls were trying to like entertain us in the meanwhile. So Wihin started imitating Hwasa's solo stage. She was like, Hwasa, show! And then Young joined her, and they just made fun of Hwasa's solo stage. It was so funny. Like, even though I couldn't speak Korean, I could more or less understand what happened there. This time they sang both of the encore songs, because on the first day they had You're the Best for the encore, and on the second day they had Words Don't Come Easy. So this time they played both, and of course Mr. Ambiguous, which was the last song on each day. They stayed much more with the audience. Like, even after the encore songs ended, they kept walking around and taking pictures and taking gifts, and they stayed much more time with the audience than the other days. Young saw that everybody feels so hot, so she got from the audience like kind of a sign with her face. So she tried to use it as a fan and cool down the audience. I'm sure it didn't work, but at least it was nice that she tried. Biol stayed until the last moment, and she picked up carefully all the presents and everything. Even though it was too hard for her to hold everything, she was just picking everything up, and she didn't leave even one thing on the stage. She really made sure that she takes everything. And then, yeah, it was the last goodbye, and they just went away.
부채도 더웠는데 잘 됐습니다. 저리 가거라.
So let's talk a little bit about the set list and like the songs and the actual performance. So yes, they started again with Paint Me, but like a different version. And they continued with Starry Night. They were singing like many songs, especially from the, of course, 4season project. Here and there also like their older songs, but especially during like the end of the show and the anchor. Most of the show concentrated on the 4season project. Wow, it was a really good opportunity to learn all the fan chants. I think I know most of them now. I was so glad that My Star was on the performance because it's a really good song, and it was with a live band, so you could actually hear the booms like My Star, doom. Especially this boom before the chorus begins just like hits you right here. I must mention that I was sad that they didn't sing Bad Bye or I Miss You. I really wanted to hear one of these songs live. I Miss You was on the last concert, but I didn't know this song that well then because I was a new fan, and this time I really loved this song, and I also love Bad Bye, so I was glad if at least one of them would be there, but I guess maybe on the next concert. Yeah, so Moonbyul's solo stage. She was dancing in male clothes. She was dancing with like male idol dance moves. She was teasing us from the beginning till the end. It was so cool. She was like drumming and dancing. She sang Selfish by herself. And yeah, by the way, on the last day Silgi was in the audience. And I think the part I like the most is when she sang Rising Sun. It's a TVXQ song, which I really like. So I was glad to see her covering that. She performed Movie again, which is her solo song that she first performed on the last concert. Her flow is crazy in this song, like she raps so well. I remember that I told you in my reactions that I wanna hear her like with angry and aggressive rap. This is the song. I'm just waiting for a studio version of it. So Weehin's solo stage, starting with Emotional 25. Yeah, dance break. She covered 7 Rings by Ariana Grande and she slayed it. Ariana should see that. She was doing her thing, dancing hip hop. She was having fun. And of course, the best part, in my opinion, she played the drums. It was really sexy. She was like sweating and playing the drums. It was a good moment. Hwasa solo stage, or should I say Hwasa show. Yeah, she actually says that in the beginning. So she started with Crazy in Love by Beyonce, which is also a song that I love a lot. And then she kind of talked about different genres, I think genres that she liked, and she sang a jazz song, which is Orange Colored Sky, and wow, this girl needs to sing more jazz. It fits her so well. I really enjoyed it. I felt like I'm in America watching like a Broadway show. Yeah, continued with Rihanna cover because we know how much she loves Beyonce and Rihanna. She teased a little bit about Mr. Ambiguous, You're the Best. And of course she sang Be Calm and she talked about the meaning of this song, which I couldn't understand but I read later on Twitter. Police is coming to catch me? I did nothing wrong, I think. She sang a little bit of Don't, Chujima, and she finished with Twit. Yeah, it was epic. And my favorite solo stage. Wow. Solar's solo stage was the best thing ever. I need a solo concert of Solar's solo stage. She blew me away day after day for 3 days in a row. She came inside, flying on a ship, singing Titanic, like my heart will go on. And her voice is so clear and she hits every note perfectly. And wow, I was melting. She continues with Hello, and as I told you, in the end of the song the music turns off and she just sings without music, and you can hear her voice like hitting the walls. Wow. She continued with Fever. She was sitting on a chair, spreading her legs and grabbing her crotch. I was shocked. I mean, I don't know if she did that on the first day. The first time I noticed that it was on the second day. I was like, did she really just do that? Did she actually? And then on the third day she did that also, and wow, I kinda died inside and outside. And then she continued with Shut Up and Let Me Go, and at some part she just went on a rope and she held a gun that shoots fake money bills. She was like, woo, shooting money bills on the audience, and it always finished really quickly, and I saw that she wanted to keep shooting but her bills already finished. So on the last day she brought 2 guns so she could shoot more. And we are getting to the highlight. She covered Fire by BTS. So if you don't know, my 2 favorite groups ever are Mamamoo and BTS. So imagine that. Mamamoo covering BTS. My favorite group covering my favorite group. Wow. Everybody was literally on fire. I couldn't hide my excitement. I kept screaming and I sang the fan chants because I know a little bit of Fire fan chants, and wow. I'm not the kind of person that goes crazy, but on solo stage I just couldn't hold myself. If that's not enough, at the end of the song she just ripped off her shirt, kissed it, and threw it to the audience. And I was there to see it 3 times, 3 shirt rips. Kim Yongsun, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, I need to calm down. Let's continue. So, 1 centimeter, it's my favorite Mamamoo song ever, and it's the first song that made me fall in love with them. So they kinda had like a special VCR for it, and after that Weehin came like regular, only in like minion clothes, and then Hwasa and Solar came in like fat minion costume, like really round one. Yongsun was the funniest because she kept falling and like she couldn't move inside it. She was so tiny and the costume was so big, so she kept rolling. Some guy from the staff had to come and help her. She was so hopeless. Yeah, they sang the a cappella version of Oh Yeah. Bjol did a little beatboxing each time. It was so cool. During I Love You Too, Bjol began with a rap part, but she didn't rap it, she just spoke it. And like she really spoke it as she trying to tell it to us. And then at some point they went upstairs and they walked around the sitting sections and giving high five to the people that's sitting in the front rows. So as I told you, on the first day the encore song was You're the Best. On the second day it was Words Don't Come Easy, which I was so... Because you know, I wouldn't expect them to sing it again. Especially not on this concert when they had so many songs to sing and they didn't even sing Piano Man. So I was like, if Piano Man is not here, then Words Don't Come Easy would be. But I was glad because it has such a cool and sexy dance. They ended with Mr. Ambiguous and like presenting the band and the dancers. Yeah, so each day during the end of the encore they just walked around. Especially gave attention to the standing sections because you know they're also closer to them, and also it's such an effort to stand the whole show, so the standing section deserve this attention. And they just take their phones and take pictures, they smile at them, they touch their hands, take presents. Yeah, I think my favorite part in each concert is the encore part because you get more attention. I mean, I'm saying that, and in my heart I still keep thinking about Young's solo stage. Kim Yong-sun, thank you for existing. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching. If you're not subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe. Tell me whatever you want in the comments, I will read and reply, and see you next time. Goodbye!